Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. Today, I have a guest that I didn't realize that I had her as a guest 2010. And here we are, 2021. And I invited her back. Now she's the weekend anchor of a morning show on NBC 10, right?
Yep.
Tamara Sacharczyk.
You nailed it.
Did I do it?
You did.
Did I do it?
You did.
Oh my God. They've got so many extra letters in those names.
It's like the build-up of trying to say that name
I
correctly.
know. Now, what's that ancestry for that name?
Polish.
Oh, it is Polish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was going to say that, but I was afraid. I almost said Russian.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to.
I'm both, so I wouldn't have been offended.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
You are Russian?
Yeah.
And Polish? Have you been to either one of those countries?
No, I have not. I've lived a sheltered life. I think the only time I got out of the country, well, no, maybe 2-3 times, but it's always been like to a resort, you know?
Right, yeah.
So, someday.
So, as I started, you were on the show with me in the other studio in 2010.
Yeah.
As Miss Teen Massachusetts.
Yes,
right?
Miss Teen Mass World. I was a senior in high school.
Cut it out.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. So I thought about it. I'm saying, when you said that, when you texted me, you said, I was on your show. You really caught me off guard. I'm saying, wait a minute. I got a pretty good memory, you know? And I'm saying, I couldn't figure out where at first. And then on top of Massachusetts, I've had probably every Rhode Island pageant. But many Massachusetts too, and Connecticut, but every one of them Rhode Island ones, you know?
Yes.
But not all of the Massachusetts ones, so I didn't get it.
Yeah, my pageant director, Debbie Rogers from Lincoln, she had Mass and Rhode Island, so she would just bring us both to appearances and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that was the difference, that was world, you said, right?
Yes.
And because they have America and they have
USA and international and...
Well, they have outstanding, Miss Outstanding
Outstanding Teen's a part of America.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Now, which one was the one owned by the former president?
That was USA.
USA.
Yeah.
And you have a connection there, by the way. You covered the inauguration of Trump.
Yeah, yep.
That's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool. I always say that regardless of how you feel about the politician, an inauguration, something historic like that, is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Right. It wouldn't make any difference to me.
Yeah.
Who it was.
Oh, it was great. It was just seeing like history unfold in front of your eyes.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than that. If I could go to every single presidential inauguration, I would.
Yes. I mean, I've been to governor inaugurations, many of them.
Yeah, even those, the gubernatorial inaugurations, mayoral inaugurations, anything like that. It's just really cool.
Yeah, I would definitely go to, I don't care who the president was, I would go to it if I had an opportunity.
It was funny though, because our task, I went with another MMJ, so we had to shoot our own video, edit our own stories.
MMJ?
Yeah, multimedia journalist. So it's one-man band, you do everything, you shoot, you edit, you write.
Now that's when you were in Springfield.
Yes.
And what is that 22?
22, WWLP, the NBC affiliate.
You know something? Let's go back to what you were talking about, but I gotta ask you something. Back in probably the best show, besides this show, this is an in-studio show. I have done a show called Bob's Big Adventure. That's really the initial show I did. And that's going to different places around the world. And, you know, people say, oh, yeah, I see you riding around the car in Rhode Island. No, that's another guy was doing that. I traveled a lot of places around the world. And I was at probably the best, my favorite anyway, of the shows I did. I did an 8-part series in Parris Island in South Carolina with the Marines. And they allowed me, I was the first one to ever get, to my knowledge, the right to videotape boot camp.
Cool.
And see them do all the stuff. And
yeah.
They even had a kid, like you see in the movie, like Jack Webb was in a movie years ago called Drill Instructor, not a drill sergeant. And the Marines are called drill instructors. Army, they're called drill sergeants. And, you know, they catch a guy, you know, they're on patrol and he whacks himself and the guy catches them and he says, you just killed a flea. Now you got to find that flea and you got to bury him. And what they do is they make him dig a hole, a trench the size of you would bury a human.
Yeah.
And he digs the hole and he finds a flea, and obviously he's not going to find the same flea.
Right.
And the sergeant will say to him, and bury the flea, and then fill the hole in. Now this is digging it by hand. This is a big, deep hole.
Oh my goodness.
6 feet that way, 6 feet deep,
Yeah.
4 feet wide. And after he's done with that, he finds the flea, and he puts the flea in the hole, and he buries it, and then the drill instructor goes, was that flea a male or a female? And now he doesn't know what the hell to say.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's got to be, he's not sure he's got to be wrong either way, but he is going to be wrong either way.
Okay.
So if he says male, no, that wasn't the same flea, dig it up. And they make him dig it up again. And they do stuff like that.
Wow.
Yes. And it was amazing that I'm there with this, and there was this one woman, and she was ridiculous. She wanted everything. She wanted to do everything, because there was national media there. I was the only,
tagging along with the national people, yeah.
Independent guy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And the only guy not making money. They're all getting paid. Paul Azan was there, was one of the reporters that I remember at the time. She was a national person, right? And they were getting, they had one thing where they repelled, and they allowed somebody to do it. Mm-hmm. And instead of letting them do it, they asked me if I wanted to do it. And one of the women getting all pissed off about it, that how come he's getting to do it?
Yeah.
He's like a flunky, I'm a national person. I don't want to say who the person was, but it was a national.
We'll discuss that later.
Yeah, exactly. And so I said, look, let her do it. So they did. But I found out there was another woman there, and she was from a station in Springfield.
Yeah, they used to send people all over the place, so that probably.
And it was 20-something.
There's only
25 though? Is there a 25?
No,
then it's got to be 22.
Yeah.
It's got to be. I was pretty sure it was an NBC affiliate.
Yeah, they used to be really good with trips.
Yeah.
So that doesn't surprise me. Yeah. They used to send people well before my time to like the Middle East, to wherever the Pope was going.
Really?
Crazy, crazy trips. I was lucky enough to go to DC for the inauguration and Houston for the Super Bowl. Those were my two big trips. But
yeah, the Super Bowl. And what year was that?
Oh God, what year was that? I'm horrible at football. When my boss called me.
I think I remember that.
It wasn't too long ago. It was 2017. I know nothing about football though. I was horrified when he said he was sending me. I was like, there's no one else. He's like, no, you and Ashley are going. I'm like, okay. Well, she knows sports, so this is good because I know
You didn't want to go?
No, I'm more of like the inauguration. I know politics. I know how to handle that. But sports, I was like, oh my God.
I thought I had the year. I think it was.
I was like, viewers are going to complain because I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, how long were you there?
I was there for
5 years?
A little over 5 years.
From 14 to 19?
Yep. Yeah, I started working 2 weeks after I graduated from college. So moved straight there.
Now you did well too. You got a pretty good resume. You graduated from Emerson.
Yep.
Cum laude.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cum laude.
Now what does that mean?
I was going to say, I don't even remember what that means. It
That
was
means
something
you're
you put on
smart.
your resume out of college.
That means you're pretty smart.
Your GPA has to be a certain point to get that.
3.75 or something?
Something like that. I forget exactly what my GPA was, but it's so funny, these things that seem like they matter so much in college, and then once you're in the working force, they don't matter at all anymore.
Well, yeah, how do they get over 4 now? Nowadays, they can get over 4.0.
Yeah, well, the high school I went to, we had up to 5.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really know the difference or how it works, but I remember we had up to 5, and then going to college, I was like, oh, so now it's on a 4.0 scale? So it changed.
No, but college, I've seen.
You've seen colleges with the 5?
Over 4. No, over 4. I know about
okay.
5. Never heard of 5, but I've heard of over 4, 4.2. And I'm going, how do you get over 4? It's like.
How do you get better than straight A's?
Well, yeah, exactly. It's like something that drives me crazy when people say, I give 110%. There's no such thing.
Right.
100% is the max. You can't do over 100%. I give 150%. No, you didn't. You give 100%. You didn't give 150%.
Yeah, I hear you. They're adding that extra. Like a, what's it called? Participation trophy.
So you did the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots played who? Who did they play that year? Do you know?
Oh my goodness, I don't even remember.
I know it was in Houston. I know the game was in Houston.
It was in Houston. Who did they play that year? Ooh, was it Philadelphia?
It could be, yes.
I think it might have been.
It could have been Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I think.
I think so.
And I
We'll
should
go
know
with
that. I should know that. Maybe
so
you
many
don't
Rhode
know, but I
Islanders are
should
going to be like,
know
what
that.
is wrong with them?
Yeah, and you went. You were
I
there.
know, I was
Were the
there.
uniforms green?
Yeah, I think it was the Eagles. When I look back, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the game that, but here's the thing. So in order to save money, we didn't stay to watch the actual game. We went there.
No way.
I swear, and I could really care less because I'm not a big football fan, but
Right.
my friend who was with me was so distraught over this because she's from Connecticut, such a big football fan, and she was like, we can't even go to the game. So we went there like 3 days before. Same thing as the inauguration. We were just going out to find people from Western Mass to talk
Right.
to them. So we had the same assignment, which was significantly more challenging at the Super Bowl because it's so big and
Right.
people are all across
Yeah.
the city. Where the inauguration, it's everyone, gathers in front of the Capitol, so that was
Right.
easy. So yeah, they sent us back the morning of the game.
They sent you back to the stadium, or was it back
Sent
home?
us back home.
Really?
Yes.
What the hell sense did that make? What'd you do there then?
Flights go up the next day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Oh, wait a minute. They sent you back after the game, or
No, before.
before
morning
the game?
of the
morning. I
game.
know you said the morning. but-
Yes, I remember
Holy
vividly
cow.
going live in the morning and then going to the airport.
So what'd you do? You go on TV. You go, oh, here we are at the stadium. The game's going to
It's
go
going to
on
happen
this
later.
afternoon."
Tune
Yeah,
in later.
it's going to happen tonight.
We won't be here.
We won't. Yeah, we're going
You
to.
can watch it.
Yeah, it's going to happen tonight.
Yeah.
So your assignment was just to go around looking
Go
for
and
people
find
from,
people from Western Mass, yeah.
from the Springfield area.
Yeah, and even that was so challenging that it just
I'll
ended
bet
up
it
being
was.
like, any Pats fans, Rhode Island, Mass, come on, you.
Yeah.
Come talk to us, please, help.
Was it hard? I mean, did you find people from Western Mass?
I think we found a couple from Western Mass, but Patriots fans in general, I mean, we found a lot of people, we would just put like Massachusetts as their lower third.
Right.
So we're like, they won't know the difference if we just write Massachusetts
Wow.
because this
So
is
you didn't-
impossible.
So, yeah, well, they saved money because you would have paid big money
Yeah,
for
yeah.
the tickets to go to the
Right,
game.
right.
And especially, I mean, if I'm the news director, I'm not going to send a woman that doesn't even know football and pay $1,000 for a ticket or
Exactly.
$2,000 for a
Yeah.
ticket to go to a game.
Right. So that's how it worked out.
I'd like to even go there for that. I did one Super Bowl, but I didn't go in the game. Like
Yeah.
out around Miami.
I mean, everything that's going on around it is so much fun too, and it's such
Exactly.
a once-in-a-lifetime
Yeah.
opportunity. So
Yeah.
that was cool, especially the days leading up to it. Fans get there like a week in advance just to have
Oh,
like the
yeah.
full Super Bowl experience. So that was cool to see.
I was watching the Patriots play last night at Buffalo. It was a
Mm-hmm.
terrible game, awful game. Final score was 14-10. I mean, it was ridiculous. And the Patriots quarterback, and
Yeah.
the kid's good. He
Yeah.
threw 3 balls the whole game.
Oh, wow.
Threw the ball 3 times the whole game.
That's it.
That's it. They ran it over 50 times in that game. Well, the weather was terrible, so
Yeah.
the wind was
Oh,
up
yeah.
to 50 mile an
Yeah.
hour wind, so they didn't take a chance on them,
Yeah.
like Belichick. But there were times that I was screaming, and I was there with a bunch of guys at a pub in Massachusetts, and we're screaming at, throw
Yeah.
the ball, third and 9, and they're running the ball. I mean, crazy stuff, stupid
Yeah.
stuff. But he had his mindset and the way he was going to do it. They won the game, so you can't argue
I
with
did
that.
hear they won.
They won the game. They won the game.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
So you grew up in Longmeadow, East Longmeadow.
East Longmeadow,
East Longmeadow.
yes.
See how I collected my
Yeah, you did.
East Longmeadow, Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
How many in your family?
Just 2, my brother and I. Older
Yeah.
brother. He now lives in Albany. And yeah, so we grew up there. I think it was I always knew I wanted to do something with writing, just because I was so good at writing and reading, and I was so horrible at like math and science and all
Right.
those
And
subjects.
sports.
And sports. I actually, funny story about sports, in gym class, they broke us up in high school to advanced, and I forget what they called the other class, but it was like, come on, really? Here. So anyways, I signed up for the advanced class. All my friends did, even though none of us, I played lacrosse, but none of us were interested in other sports.
Right.
And I remember my gym teacher saying, like, if you guys do this, you're gonna have to actually participate. And we're like, yeah, we're gonna participate. We never participated.
No?
Yeah. I don't think they do that anymore though, but yeah.
Well, they tried that on a national scale where they had the 2 sisters, the daughters of that actress, go to USC, right?
Yeah, that didn't work
Part
out.
of the rowing team
Yeah.
or something, whatever they were. They never even got in a
Yeah.
a boat of any kind or a canoe of any kind.
Yeah. That was me in the gym class.
Yeah?
Yeah, except for I didn't have my mom get
you
me to
look
that
like
gym class.
you got the structure of an athlete.
Oh, thank you. Well, I run. I work out a lot. I used to play lacrosse. I used to be a dancer. So I think it's because I blame my brother because I had to go to all of his basketball, baseball, whatever else he played growing up,
Right.
so that I really stopped liking sports because of that. Because it was like...
Now, how much older is he than you?
He's 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got payback, though, because he had to go to my dance recitals, my pageants, so...
Yeah? Now, what other pageants did you do besides the Miss Teen, or did you do any others?
I did. I competed in Miss Teen Mass USA. That was my first pageant. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Miss Teen Mass.
Yeah, so the pageant that Trump used to own, back when he actually still owned it. I competed in that pageant. I had no idea what I was getting into. It's like, oh, this is gonna be so much fun, and it's so competitive, and I had no idea. So then I decided I wanted to give it another go, and then I competed in the Miss Teen Mass World after I got like all of the coaches, you know what I mean? You have like your talent coach, your interview coach, you have a personal trainer, it's like a whole thing.
Cut it out. Now,
It's a
wait a
whole
minute,
thing.
that's when you win the preliminaries, right? That's after that?
That's just compete in general. If you want to really compete,
So everybody has them?
For the most part, some girls don't, but for the most part, and then if you win, you definitely get all of them to go on to national.
But somebody's got to pay for them, right?
Yeah.
Really?
I did. Yeah.
No, you didn't when you were a kid.
I did, yeah. I started working when I was 14 years old at a donut shop.
Really?
And then worked at an Italian bakery, and I saved all my money and spent it all on pageants.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. And then you can get sponsors too once you do start winning.
Oh, yeah,
and which like some of my employers back when I was in high school were fantastic and would sponsor me all the way. But yeah, so I competed in Miss Teen Mass USA, and then I competed after I was Miss Teen Mass World. When I was in college, I was Miss Greater Holyoke for the Miss America organization for a year. And then I competed one more time after that in Miss Mass USA, placed top 10. Then I was like, I'm done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, Holyoke is near you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out where East Longmeadow is. But
Yeah,
now
Holyoke,
now
Springfield
I got it,
area.
'cause now I know. Now I know where you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now I know where you are. Because again, I used to go to
Palmer,
Springfield,
Ware, yeah.
Palmer, Ware, all those towns quite often.
Yeah.
So I drove by there. But you were south of the Route 90,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Like you said, on the Connecticut line almost.
Right next to Connecticut.
Now, your husband is from Johnston, Rhode Island?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, do you live in Rhode Island now?
Yeah, we live in Cranston.
Cranston, huh?
Yeah.
Went from Johnston to Cranston. Is he Italian by
So
chance?
he's not, and I get asked that so much. And it's funny because the town I grew up from, everyone calls Little Italy in Western Mass because
Really?
everyone's Italian. So I'm like, how ironic is it that we both grew up in such Italian towns and neither of us are Italian?
Wow.
So most of our friends are, as you can imagine, but.
Well, you do know the statistic of Johnston, Rhode Island. It's the second most highest
Yes,
concentration
I have heard
in
that.
the country, in
Yep.
the whole country.
Yeah.
Next to a town in New Jersey.
Yeah. So he's not Italian, but.
But I didn't know about East Longmeadow. I didn't know
yeah.
that was like that either.
Yep. My mom remembers when she first moved there, people saying to her, "Oh, you're moving to Little Italy," and she was like, "What?" Then she got there and she's like, "Oh, everyone is Italian here."
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
and you didn't go far either, because Cranston's pretty Italian too.
Right. Hey, great food.
Exactly.
There's perks with this.
And yeah, you can't beat the food in
Oh,
in
yeah.
Rhode Island. You
Oh, my
can't.
goodness. I know.
Unless-
Trust me.
Yeah,
I've learned quickly.
yeah. So what is he if he's not Italian? What ancestry is he?
Oh, he's like me. We're like a million different things.
Yeah.
He's English. He's Irish, French Canadian, a bunch of different things. So our child will be like, future child someday will be like everything.
All right. Well, that was my next question. You don't have any kids?
No, not yet. Just a dog.
Just a dog.
Yeah.
That's cheaper. A dog's cheaper.
You think until he gets into everything and you have to bring him to the vet 5 times.
What kind of dog?
He's a mutt. So we adopted him he came up here from Tennessee as a puppy.
Really?
Yeah. So
Oh, is that somebody that brings them up here?
Yeah, it's like the transport service that they bring them
Yes.
up. It's actually adorable. So they just start, they come out of the van and they start holding these puppies and they're like, who has this one? Who has his name? His original name was Peter. So who has Peter? And they're just holding him up and.
I knew the woman that was involved in, it might be the same group that would go down south because for some reason there's an abundance of dogs down there.
Yes, because they have puppy mills, and I think a lot of people just don't fix their dogs down there, where up here people are generally do. So they have kill shelters, so that's why they try and bring them up here so that, you know, they can live. They have kill shelters down south.
What'd you say, kill?
Yeah, where if you're in a shelter for long enough, they might euthanize the dog.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so here they don't do that, so they bring them up here in hopes that they get adopted.
Right,
yeah.
It's a friend of mine, his girlfriend does, and I'm pretty sure she runs it up here.
Yeah.
And it's probably the same.
It's a great program.
Outfit. Yeah.
Yeah, great
They even fly them up sometimes.
Oh, yeah, yep.
They get people that donate their pilots that donate their time and their money to fly them up here.
Yeah.
Just to get them out of it. Like you said, I hate to hear that word, but I was kind of sure that that's what you meant. When you said, kill them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Yeah, I always say I would never buy a dog just because there's so many out there to adopt. So.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Plus, you adopt a dog, and they're already spayed. They're already they already got their shots.
He cost us, I think, like $300. Whenever he chews apart a pillow on the couch, I like to remind him that pillow cost as much as he did. Yeah.
But that's right, folks. You know, you're better off adopting a dog.
Oh yeah, and especially nowadays, it's so easy to get them as puppies too, if that's what you're looking for.
Right. And on top of it, you get these dogs that you buy. Some of them are $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, it's insane.
And I think in many cases, I'll probably hear about this. I think in many cases, a mutt is better than a full.
Yes, they're generally healthier.
They're healthier and they're in many cases smarter.
Yes, he's so smart. So we have door locks on the outside of our doors because he can open the door.
Really?
So we have to lock the outside because he will go into every room and get into something. So whenever people come over, they're like, why does the outside of your door have a lock?
Exactly.
Sketches some people out, but
really?
Yeah.
And you like your room doors each
yeah.
door?
So actually, funny story, there was one morning that I was getting up at my normal time, like 2:30 a.m. for a weekend to go to work.
I know.
Very early.
I was going to get into that.
And
I will too.
My head wasn't working properly because at that time when you haven't had your caffeine, it's just not, you know what I mean? Like you're just still trying to wake up. So I wasn't even thinking. I locked my husband in our room and I left.
No way.
I swear to you.
No, that's hilarious.
And he texted,
that is hilarious.
He texted me. I'm like sitting down for the 9 a.m. newscast, ready to go. He texts me, "Did you forget something this morning?" And I'm like, trying to think of what I could forget. I'm like, what is he talking about? I text him back. I'm like, no. And he was like, you locked me into the room.
Unbelievable.
He's like, are you still in there? He had to break the door open.
Did he? That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That is great. Now, that's what I was going to ask you about. That's an inhumane time. I don't sleep, so it doesn't bother. I finally went to bed at 4:22 this morning.
Oh my goodness.
And I get up at 5:44.
So you can function off 1 hour of sleep. You're one of those people.
2 hours and 11 minutes I got. And that's not total sleep. I was still, I obviously saw what time it was.
Right.
So I was still tossing and turning.
Right.
So I probably didn't get to sleep for another 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Functioning insomniac.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't sleep. I'm a chronic pain sufferer, so I don't sleep. I get cramps or something, and I got to get out of bed.
Yep.
I've got a cramp, and I go, oh my God. You know, I've probably been asleep for 20 minutes, and all of a sudden I get this vicious cramp in my foot or something, or my calf or whatever, and I got to get out of bed. And then I can't go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So then I go watch TV, or I go read something, or do something, and go and get a bowl of ice cream, go back to bed. Try to sleep again.
Eat some sugar, then try to go back to bed.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work for me. But you get up at what time? 2 o'clock, 2:30?
So 2:30 on weekends. When I was weekday mornings, or when I fill in for weekday mornings, it's even earlier. It's like 1:30, because I go on at 4:30.
And they call that sunrise?
Yeah.
You're the weekend sunrise anchor, right?
Yeah.
Is that your title?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's not appealing.
Yeah, it's an interesting life, but I always say it's funny because I was such a night owl in college, and then at my first job, and ever since I've been in mornings in some capacity.
But that's not mornings, that's nighttime. You're getting up in the middle of the night.
Right, yeah, pretty much.
And now, when you were working in the Springfield area, was that late? That was the same time?
I was weekday morning anchor, so yeah.
Oh, my, even worse.
So on at 4:30 a.m.
You went on TV at 4:30?
Yep.
So you get up at what, 2:30?
I would get up around this like 1:32, because you got to get up, get ready, drive to work.
Well,
if it's snowing outside, forget about it. You're getting up an extra 20 minutes early.
In that area, my God, they get a lot more snow than we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's been a few times that my husband, because he has a big truck, actually had to drive me to work at that time. Because I'm like, my car's not going to make it.
Now, what kind of work does he do?
He's a civil engineer.
So what time does he get up? Normal time, like a normal time? Like what time?
6:30.
6:30, yeah. And that's early for a lot of people.
Right,
6:30.
right.
But see, I couldn't even do that, because if I got to sleep, you would wake me up, because I wake up to anything.
Yeah, he does not. I could literally play a trumpet in his ear and he would not wake up.
Really? Yeah. If I hear a drip of the water, I wake up.
Really?
Yeah. It's terrible, but.
You need one of those noise machines.
I do.
You have one?
Yes,
and you can still hear the drip of the water.
Yeah. Well, I don't have that problem with the drip of the water, but I hear any kind of sound.
Any sound,
I hear any kind of sound makes me right up. I guess I never get into that deep sleep they call it.
REM.
Yeah. But what time do you go to bed?
So on those days, I try to go to bed. So during the week, I have a normal schedule, Wednesday through Friday, where I'm in at like 9 a.m. So I get up at usually 5:30, we'll take a run, whatever. Then I'll try and like totally flip my schedule and go to bed by like 6:37.
Oh, 6:37 at night? Oh, God. Now, what does that do for your husband? What time does he go to bed?
He's gotten really good at video games.
Yeah, huh? Wow. I mean, it would be different if you both had the same job.
Right.
Because that's an ungodly time.
It is.
That's not natural.
Yeah, it's
right?
not.
That's almost as bad as working the third shift.
Right.
Right?
Yep, I've done both.
Really?
Yeah, where, I mean, the night shift is kind of, because it's so funny, people who don't understand the industry will always say, like, oh, are you going to get on a better schedule? And it's like, well, there's only kind of two options, where you're either really nights or you're mornings if you're an anchor.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, because I had Gene on here a couple weeks ago, and he does, as you know, the radio show.
Right, which is very early.
Yeah, which is very early, and then he goes in and does.
And anchors, yeah.
And anchors.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy that he can do that.
Yeah, he used to come in and do the noon too. So he would.
Oh, he doesn't do the noon anymore?
No, but he used to a few days a week. He would do the radio show, come in, do the noon, leave again, and then come back in and do the 6.
Well, he come over here and did this show in the afternoon, which is normally his sleep time.
Right.
He did the show here like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because he did the show in the morning, right?
Yep.
He does till 9 o'clock, right? 6 to 9.
Yep.
And he got to get up at like 4 to do that, right?
Right.
6 to 9, and then he would go. I think he did. Did he do the morning show then? At Channel 10?
No.
No. So he do the noon? No, he didn't do the noon either. He did the 6 p.m. news.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So we'd have that break in between, which is kind of crazy.
I know.
think that stinks.
I know.
That stinks. You're working early in the morning. You got a break in the middle.
Because you would think it's like always hanging over your head type of thing,
yeah.
you know?
You can't do anything. Like
Right.
I like to do stuff around the house. I like to fix things and build
Right.
things and whatever. You can never have any time to do anything. You can never get into it. Like if I was working to 10 a.m. and get out of work by 10:30 or something, now you kind of tired. Well, I'm not, but most people are tired and they want to go rest for a while. But I'd be going to build a fence or something. So I got to go to Home Depot.
And then you'd have to take another shower and get dressed again.
Yes, and go to work for 5 o'clock. Get there for 4:30 or something and go through all the stuff.
The
you got to go
scripts and
through.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a
crazy schedule. Almost crazier than mine when you think about it.
Yeah, and you also do the I team too, right?
Yep.
Explain that to people that don't know.
So that's like you get a chance to go more in depth with stories. So a regular general assignments reporter, they get their story that morning, they go out and they have to turn it that day, so it airs that night.
Right.
With me, I can work on stories. Some of them are day turns, other times I have a week to work on it. Nobody really pressures me to air anything until it's ready, so sometimes it'll be a month where I'm working on it.
Wow.
Sometimes I'll have to send out records requests, and those can take a month to 2 months to get back, so it'll be a story that's developing for quite some time before I actually get to air it. But it's it's a chance to dig deeper into news, which I've always loved. I started that at 22 News, and actually way before that, when I was in college, I was an investigative intern at 7 News in Boston, and that's when I really started taking an interest in it.
Now you won some awards, and one was for that kind of stuff,
yes,
right?
yeah. One was for investigative reporting.
What was that for?
That one was for a story on school restraints. So teachers
Yeah, what is that
physically
about?
restraining
Right.
students in school. So we looked up, that was a records request. I requested the number of restraints each school had. It was a hot topic at the time in Western
Right.
Massachusetts. And then some schools kind of changed the way that they would restrain students because of lawsuits and things like that, and just sometimes it got out of hand. And most of the time, we're not talking about regular, everyday students. We're talking about students with disciplinary issues and whatnot.
Like the kid that just killed 4 people. And
Oh, God, yeah. Talk about a horrible
that
story.
That very day, he was in the office.
Yeah. So that was what the story was on, was Springfield, I believe, which isn't surprising because it's the biggest city in Western Mass, but they had the highest number of restraints. And I think I went through some of the more controversial ones because they had to write a report every time something happened. So that was that story. I did a story on human trafficking where I interviewed a human trafficking survivor.
Really?
Yeah, which was a crazy story. So I won an award for that one too.
Well, explain that story to me.
So she was very young. She was a teenager when she met a guy who she thought was her boyfriend, and he manipulated her and human trafficked her. So he got her addicted to drugs.
Right.
And
that's how they control them.
Right.
That's
if you love me, you'll do this for me. And then fun fact, I also won an award when I went to the Super Bowl.
Yes, I know, a sports award.
When they said it, I was at the
funny.
table and I started laughing. I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah. You won an award for not being at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was funny. It was a feature story though, so it was more about the fans as opposed to the game.
Right,
It's not like I won like a sports reporter award, it was sports feature. But yeah. I think that's the one time in my life I will ever be able to say that.
What other ones? There are other awards you had. You won.
Young Careerist of the Year.
Right.
That was in Western Mass. That was for one of the magazines.
Right. A young careerist.
Yes.
The first time I ever heard that.
Me too.
Word,
but I'll take it.
Young careerist.
Yeah.
Career with an IST, folks.
Yeah. So that was for a local magazine in Western Mass.
And the Edward R. Murrow Excellence Award 2018 for anchoring and investigative reporting. Now that's big. Edward R. Murrow was like the guy.
Yes.
That's back in the day when, and this is not a knock on you, but it's kind of a knock on reporting nowadays, because people now, they put spin on it. A lot of people do. They put spin on their reporting. Some of them, especially the nationals.
I was going to say, I'd say national, not local.
No, not local. The nationals are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even watch Gayle King. I mean, she's ridiculous.
There are definitely some. I honestly avoid most national news.
Is what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
I honestly avoid most national news because of that. I mean, I'll watch like the Today Show and nightly news, but even some of the things, there's been a few times where I've heard stuff and I'm like, come on, couldn't have reported that better. Or you know what I mean? The recent interview with, what's his face, Alec Baldwin, has his best friend do it. It's just, where's the objectivity?
Yeah.
Where's the, you couldn't have found anyone else to do that interview?
And they didn't jump on him for saying he didn't he didn't shoot the gun?
I don't think they really asked any tough questions. It was,
you cock the hammer. You cock the hammer.
Right.
If you cock the hammer of a gun, and even if you don't pull the trigger, if it doesn't lock, if you let go of that hammer, it's going to strike the bullet.
Yeah.
So he did do that. He must have done that because the gun didn't say, I'm going to shoot myself. The gun isn't, the gun talking.
Yeah. I just think that, especially the 24-hour news networks, CNN, MSNBC, those, I think that they could do a lot better with trying to be objective, and instead of just bringing two people on to scream at each other, they could present the news differently.
Right. Well, now they've gotten to the point where one is liberal, the other one's conservative.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is.
Right. And it's almost like you wish that they would just say that, and you wish that they would just say whether their correspondent is a real trained journalist or just a correspondent.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because there are people who are...
Oh, pretty face.
Right. People who weren't trained to be journalists, who didn't go to school for that, and they're commentators, and then they have their own show, and it's like people are taking the news from you, and they don't even understand that you're not a journalist because you've never said that.
Right.
So.
Well, that's like some of the radio shows, too, same thing.
Yeah.
They're just giving their opinion.
Right,
and
right.
They're soliciting their opinion.
Right, and they don't really have anything that says, like full disclosure, this is just opinions. Which if you want to do that, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. You can go on air and do that, but
they should say that at the beginning of the show.
Exactly.
Every show they should say that.
Exactly.
And I mean, I've listened to radio shows, and if you don't agree with the person, and I'll say guys because everyone that around here is a guy that does those shows. No, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. There's one, Tara Granahan does the radio show. But other than her, or maybe including her, they sometimes, if you don't agree with them, they shut you out.
I haven't listened to radio too much here, other than Gene's show. I've listened to quite a bit. But
Well, Gene, the reason why he's number one, and he is because he doesn't do like a topic show, and he doesn't trash people. That's the big thing.
Right.
That's the big thing.
Because Gene's a journalist and he knows how to talk, and he's
Right. His objectivity is there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not out to get people or uncover something or beat somebody up or whatever.
Right.
Like people come on. I don't think in 29 and a half years, I don't think 10 people have turned me down about coming on the show. Yeah. Because they know they're not going to get burnt. I'm not here to kill them. I'm not here to beat them up. I'm not here to, I got something on you and I'm going to nail you. I'm going to sneak up on you, which is what a lot of these shows do. A lot of these shows do that. And that's how they get their, I guess their ratings. They figure they get their ratings. Right. But the fact is that Gene's got the highest rating, and he doesn't do that. Right. Yeah. So what does that tell you? Exactly. That people are sick of hearing about that. Exactly. And I think that we're honestly going through a shift in the industry. I think the pendulum is shifting back. Oh, yes. I totally agree. Thankfully, it's shifting back. And I don't want it to go all the way back to the right either. Right. I'd like to see it in the middle. Yes. Yeah. Where I always say your job as a journalist is to tell both sides of the story, or 3 sides of the story, or how many sides the story has. And let the viewers decide. It shouldn't be about you. It's not about you. It's a story. I think a lot of people, especially in TV news, get wrapped up in the fact that they're on TV. And I think that's one of the things that started the issue to begin with. But it's not about you. Your opinion doesn't matter. It's about you're educating people. So I think we're starting to get back there. I mean, local news has always been about that, which is why I love local news. Right. That's why I'm glad you corrected me, because I meant national news. I didn't mean local news. Yeah. I think national news is going to have to adapt, or they're going to lose all of their audiences. Oh, they have. Well, look at, isn't there that other news media that's come out now that? Which one? There's so many. I know. There's like News Nation. Okay. Yeah. That claims to be totally objective. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I haven't watched them, but. Well, they charge. You got to pay for that if you want that. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you want, I looked it up. You got to. It's an extra. It's a subscription. Oh, okay. To get that. I guess they got to make their money somehow. Yeah. But they'll claim because we don't have commercials. Oh, okay. 2 years down the road, they'll have commercials. Right. Doesn't that always happen? It's like cable TV. When cable TV started, no commercials. We're not like the networks with no commercials. Yeah. Now they got more commercials than regular TV does. Yeah. Really, it's gotten so crazy now. Yeah, it has. And now there are so many, all these plus stations on TV, and the cable companies are trying to get back at the people that went to streaming, and now they've raised the prices of getting getting Hulu, YouTube TV, all that stuff goes up. Yeah, if you add that all up, it costs you more than cable. We talk about this all the time, that it's like, how many subscription services do you have, and are you really saving any money? I hear people spending $250, $300 bucks a month for cable, for streaming in cable TV. You got Netflix, you got Amazon. And they all go up like once a year. Yeah, every one of them. Yep. Every one of them. If you're spending, if the average one is even $8, and you got 10 of them, that's $80, plus you got to pay for the cable hookup, not the cable hookup, but the internet hookup.
Right.
In your house, it's like $80 in itself.
Yeah, and you're not going to go without the internet, so.
Right. And then now, like HBO has, what, 4, 5, 6 channels?
Oh, yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah.
There's Paramount, there's Paramount Plus, there's so many. There's
Yeah.
Pluto TV that popped up on mine the other day. I was like, Pluto TV? I have no idea what it is. I didn't click on it, but my smart TV just like self-downloaded it the other day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is this? Yeah. I didn't click on it because it's probably another subscription fee.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Anything says a plus, I believe, is a subscription.
Yeah.
Right?
I think so, yeah.
And I like that husband and wife from Texas, Waco, Texas, that does the rehab stuff.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Marigold or something is the name of the company.
Joanne and
Yeah. Gaines is their last name. Yeah, Chip and Joanne. And I thought they were great. They were great on regular cable. But now they went off the air for a couple of years, and now they're on Plus.
Right.
So you got to buy, I don't know if it's Paramount Plus or what Plus it is.
Yeah.
It's one of those Plus stations.
Everything's an add-on.
Yeah. And I'm saying, I was going to subscribe to it, but I said, you know something, I ain't giving in to them. I'm not giving in to them because you got to get Paramount Plus and then you got to get Apple Plus. And do you know I have Amazon Plus or Amazon Prime, which allows me to get their movies and stuff?
Oh, okay, but you pay for that Prime.
I do.
Right.
But I pay for it because I
because you
buy
order
stuff
so much from Amazon.
instead
so
of
do
paying,
I.
because you save money in the long run.
And then you get access to their TVs, their TV shows, movies,
and they
etc.
actually send me, every month they send me a reminder. You know you have access to streaming services.
Yeah.
I've never even tried to hook up to them.
What I like about Amazon too, if you can't find a show anywhere else, you can at least buy it on Amazon. You know, like if you don't want to subscribe to, at least, not like Netflix originals or anything like that, but if you want to see a show and you don't want to subscribe to like Paramount, for example, you could then find it on Amazon and just buy that season.
Oh, you can buy a whole season of shows?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, fun facts.
Again, like I said, I have never gone on to their network.
Yeah.
Amazon's network, even though I'm paying for it. I've
right.
Never gone on,
yeah, you got to take advantage of it.
But I pay for it because I want the shipping, the free shipping, and that's a great deal if you're buying something online. Because if one thing could pay for the whole year.
Exactly.
I bought stuff that I bought something recently. It weighed 150 pounds. I don't know how much that would have cost me.
Oh God, can you imagine if you had to get it shipped?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
I leave my house one day. Well, I didn't leave my house. I have a hot tub and a shed outside my house, and it's 10 steps away. And I go in the hot tub. I come out of the hot tub, and there's this huge box leaning against my house. And I go, I'll be damned. I bought one of these beds that lift up and everything.
Yeah.
It's got to weigh 150 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
They put it in my backyard and left. I didn't know that anybody was even there. And it's, like I said, it's 10 steps from my house to my back door to the door of my shed.
And then you had to carry it inside, though.
Well, I got help to carry it inside.
Yeah.
There's no way I was carrying that inside.
Right.
But my point is, it didn't cost me anything to ship it.
Yeah.
Because I paid $120 or something a year to be
like you said, that one purchase probably paid for itself.
Yeah. And everything else I buy, like I bought something this morning, no shipping.
So you're as bad as me. You're on every morning just buying stuff from Amazon.
Well, not every morning.
I'm really bad.
Actually, I was buying stuff from my hot tub.
Oh, okay.
You know, because all of a sudden it was foaming up a little bit. And I went online and why is my hot tub foaming up? And I found out it's because I used some lotion on my, the dryness from the hot tub. I put some lotion on my legs.
And then the lotion is causing the...
It goes in the hot tub, and if you ever put a drop of dish detergent, especially Dawn, a good one, it would be foaming out the house. It'd be all over. It'd be to the house. It'd be out the shed and the 10 feet to the house.
Yeah.
Because I remember when they first opened the Hospital Trust Tower, which then became Fleet in downtown Providence. It's a Superman building and then a flat building next to it.
Yep.
When I was in my 20s, I used to work for Aetna, which was in the Hospital Trust.
Yep.
First it was in the Superman building, and then when the Hospital Trust, the flat building, was built, the two big buildings that have the lights on them, the Superman building and the big flat building.
Yes.
We moved over to that flat building. And when they built it, they put this beautiful fountain in front of it, on the back side of it. Not the side of, what is it, Kennedy Plaza, the other, the back side. Beautiful, beautiful fountain. We used to sit out there at lunch in the nice weather, whatever. And all of a sudden, these kids, must be college kids, they got the idea, or they figured out that if you they would take a whole bottle of, and put it in there, and it would be all the way. It looked like it looked like the blob going down the street. I'm telling you, the foam was 4 feet high.
Yeah.
Down the street. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
They must have thrown gallons of
dish
good
soap
good
in there.
dish
Yeah,
detergent, the good stuff. You know, the stuff that really foams up.
Yep.
So they end up having to do away with the fountain. They actually took it out.
Did they?
Yeah, they stopped using it. They turned it off, emptied it out, but they just ended up. They said they couldn't fill it up because every time they would wait a month and then try it again.
And then somebody would come out of nowhere.
They'd do it again. They would do it every time. They would do it.
Yep.
But I'm telling you, it was unbelievable how much foam it would develop. Because the water's
right, it's constantly moving, so therefore it's just making bubbles.
It doesn't have to be hot, just moving, and it would build up, build up, build up. And it was crazy the amount of foam. So even if I know if I put a couple drops of that dish detergent in my hot tub, it would just be all over the place. And if I had the shed door closed and I was inside, I'd be like your husband trying to break out. Trying to break out the door. Now, who do you work with on Saturday?
Anthony Macari.
Now, how long's he been there?
I think he started a few months before me, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been there for probably close to 2.5 years.
Now, is he a Rhode Islander?
He is.
Is his father something to do with dentistry?
I don't know.
Because I know the last
I feel like you saying that rings a bell, but I also could be wrong.
What city does he live in?
Right now he lives in Johnston.
Oh, no. This guy lives in East Greenwich.
Yeah, I forget I think his mom, I think his mom might be a hairdresser.
A what?
A hairdresser, I believe.
I don't know.
Anywho, yeah, he's
Do they own a place in Arizona?
Not that I know of.
Well, because the guy I know has a place in Arizona.
Gotcha. We might be thinking about distant family members.
Yeah, they could. Well, it's a common name, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty common name. Who do you have the most fun with over there?
Oh, man.
Who's the craziest person you work with over there?
That's a tough question. Dan is hilarious. Dan Janig.
Dan's been on the show. In fact, I got to get him back on. He hasn't been on in a while. He's from a big family.
Yeah.
He's got a big family. He's like my family growing up. I think he has the same.
How many in your family?
8.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he has the same. Well, I have 8. I have 7 brothers and sisters, but I have 8 brothers and sisters. There was 9 of us, and my father died at 36.
Wow.
And my mother was 30 when my father died. So figure that one out. She had 9 kids, and they didn't get married till she was 19. So and no twins.
Wow.
So figure that one out.
I feel like that's how it used to happen. It would just,
she had
crank
a
out
kid
all the babies.
every year.
Yeah.
She was banging them out. 3 of them, she did like 10 months apart.
That is so impressive.
Yeah.
I think of having one, I think I'm just going to stop there once I have one.
No twins and 30 years old. So in 11 years, she had 9 kids.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So hopefully you guys weren't too much trouble. I'm sure it was just well-behaved children at all times.
Well, it was tough because the oldest was 13 when my father died.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And the youngest wasn't born. My youngest brother
She was pregnant.
She was 7.5 months pregnant when my father died. Oh. My youngest brother was born. He died in October 13th, and he was born November 30th.
Yeah.
So
she had the hardest job out there.
Yeah.
Taking care of that many kids.
Yeah.
My goodness.
And she had 3, ended up, when he was born, she had either 3 or 4 in diapers at the same time. And that's
what every woman has told me to never do. Do not have more than 1 baby in diapers at once.
And that was back in the day before they really had diapers.
Right, it was like the cloth.
Diapers.
Yeah.
Real diapers.
Yep.
That you had to wash.
Right.
Because I remember having to wash them as an 8 and 9 and 10-year-old kid. I used to have to go to the laundry with them. Crappy old diapers. Yeah. 2 or 3 kids, 4 kids. And I do remember, I think I remember my younger sister was still just getting out of diapers. So she was like a toddler. She was only 4, I think. 3 maybe. She might have been 3. Because it was 3, 2, 1, or less than 1. Like 2 months old, and then a year old, and 2 years old. Yeah, she was only 3. Yeah, so she was probably just getting out of it. Still in diapers maybe for a couple more months.
Getting out of the phase type
Yeah.
of, yeah.
So imagine how many diapers to have in a wash. I was in the laundromat all the time.
I bet. You probably
in fact,
lived there. Probably had a bed for you in there.
No, I got a job there.
Did you really?
I absolutely did. I absolutely did.
You're like, might as well. I'm here all day.
Exactly. I was there all the time, so they hired me to work,
there you go.
Work there. What'd you say? You said you had 2 jobs when you were a kid.
Yeah, so my first one was at a donut shop.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I gained 5 pounds within my first week of working there, because it's like, just unlimited donuts and bagels and breakfast sandwiches. And I got the worst coffee addiction ever.
Really?
Like, I would drink like 4 cups of coffee within 2 hours and just be like jittery and okay
No
with
kidding.
it. Like, this is fine,
No
everything's
kidding.
fine.
Wow.
It was bad. And then I left there and went to an Italian bakery. And that was, oh my God, their food was amazing.
Yeah.
I always joke that when they had crazy holiday rushes, so like pre-Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Because there'd be lines,
Zeppelins and all that stuff.
yeah, lines out the door. I'd be hidden in like the because we didn't have a lunch break when it was like that, because it was just go, 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 go.
Right.
I'd be hidden in the freezer, and this one time my boss walked in and I was just eating a cannoli. like, please let me do this, I'm really hungry. You gotta eat when you can.
Now you say, oh, by the way, when I was 13, 12 maybe, I worked at a restaurant, pizza place.
Oh, yeah?
Italian pizza place, the Villa Capri.
Did you also gain 5 pounds at first?
No, I was hustling.
Running
doing
back
that.
and forth.
And by the way, by 12, 13 years old, I was still working at the laundromat, but there was a liquor store on this side of my street.
Okay.
The main street was this way. There was a liquor store across the side street, my side street. There was a pharmacy on the corner, and then there was the laundromat next door.
Yeah.
And I would load the coolers at the liquor store after they closed at night.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't 12 then, I was probably 15. The liquor store, I would work the liquor store after closing, load the coolers up for the next day. The pharmacy, I'd wash the floors, and
oh
I was
my
a soda
goodness.
jerk during the day, and during
So
the
what, do you have like
summertime.
3 jobs at once?
So I had 3 or 4, at least 3 jobs.
Wow.
And then I worked at the, I was probably the most trusted kid around.
Yeah,
because
right?
I had all the keys to the machines. I used to empty all the machines, the washers and dryers, the coins, and put them in and count them and roll them and give them to Mr. Clark, who owned the place.
Yeah.
And that was, and across the street was the pizza joint. And I'd work there sometimes a couple days
So you
a
just
week.
spend your whole day working?
I was working I made more money as a 13, 14, 15-year-old kid than most adults made back in the day. But again, I had the keys to the liquor store. I had the keys to the pharmacy. All
Nothing
right?
could go wrong
and
there.
I had the cash, and I had the cash in the laundromat.
Yeah.
And all my friends would say, "Come on, let's get some booze." I said, "No, that ain't happening.
Yeah, no,
I'm
I will
not
lose my
violating
job."
my trust." And the pharmacy, God, I mean,
Yeah.
drugs, you know.
Right.
But no, not happening.
Yeah.
And even
So
money.
you were a good kid,
And
fortunately.
Yeah, I was a good bad kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I had my bad ways.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Everyone has their bad moments.
But when I worked at the pizza joint, I created this pizza. I used to make pizza birthday cakes.
Oh, what does that entail?
Well, I'd put your name. I'd make it out with pepperoni and peppers or whatever.
Yeah.
And I spell out your name, happy birthday.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. And I started doing that, and I did it for 1 or 2 people, and it became a popular
And it became a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
But they got mad at me because it would take much more time to do that. You know?
Yeah.
So I said, how about if I charge more? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, then we could do
Now
it.
you're thinking.
What's your favorite restaurant now that you're a Rhode Islander?
Oh my God, so we went to the other day, what's it, Bayberry Hall? Bayberry Beer Hall in Providence.
Bayberry. Now you got me on that one.
I had the best meal I've had in such a long time.
Cut it
was
out.
fantastic. It
Bayberry.
was
You
steak.
sure you didn't drink a lot?
What?
Bayberry Beer Hall?
Beer Hall. My friends are coming up from Western Mass, and I was like,
Where
I'm
is
just gonna throw this dart at the wall and hope it's good. It's where's it near in Providence? You know, I'm really bad with street names, but it's, I can't think of. It was also dark, and I wasn't driving. I can't think of where exactly it is.
What kind of food?
Like American food. But my husband had pork belly, and I had steak, and it was incredible.
Really?
Just really, really good. And then they're their own brewery too. So then you get.
Well, there's a lot of breweries in Rhode Island.
There's so many breweries in Rhode Island.
I live here.
It's hard to keep up.
Not here. This is East Providence.
Yeah.
I live in Pawtucket, and we must have.
Oh yeah, they have quite a few there.
5 breweries in Pawtucket.
They're all good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't drink. I cannot stand the taste of
No.
alcohol.
I'm a beer girl.
I do not like. I wouldn't drink a glass of beer on a bet.
Yeah.
And wine, the worst. I wouldn't touch it.
Really?
Oh God. And hot, because people say, why don't you have a shot before you go to bed? It'll help you sleep.
Oh God.
I would get sick.
Yeah.
It would make me sick.
Nothing like having the spins while you're trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, or a glass of wine. Have a glass of wine.
Have you tried like melatonin though? That works
I think
for me
I have.
on
I
most
think
days.
I've actually tried sleeping pills, which I don't like. I don't like taking them.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried them, Ambien, I think it was, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like it because then you feel drop.
I was gonna say those all have that effect too, right?
Don't like it.
Yeah, I took. I'll never forget this. I took ZQuil once when I was in college. I was living in DC and interning for NBC, and I couldn't fall asleep, so I took ZQuil. I felt drunk the entire next day.
Really?
It was, and it was like no side effects. You won't feel dizzy.
Yeah, right.
The entire next day, I was like, I don't even know how I'm working right now. This is ridiculous. Never have I touched that stuff ever again. Like, no.
Hey, before we finish, we got to finish on a serious note.
Okay.
The Epilepsy Foundation.
Yes.
Now, how'd you get involved in that?
So I was diagnosed with epilepsy when I was 15 years old. I had a grand mal seizure when I was in high school. Fortunately, my best friend was sleeping over. She's an insomniac. She heard me fall.
Right.
And so she walked in the bathroom, and I was just on the ground having a seizure.
Oh, that is so scary.
It was.
Oh, I've dealt with. I mean, I had my stepdaughter.
Oh, okay. Has epilepsy or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's terrifying.
Oh my God. Then you got to
So-
grab their tongue. You got to. Well, at least I did back in the day.
I was gonna say they tell you not to do that anymore, but
No, I know, but I did that back in the day.
I mean, you could understand why that would be an instinct to try and do that.
Yeah.
So I went to the hospital, got a bunch of tests, and they found out it was epilepsy. So I got involved with the Epilepsy Foundation shortly after that because I had no idea what it was. I really didn't. I didn't know anyone who had epilepsy, and it was difficult to talk to anybody about because everyone was just kind of scared of like, wait, so are you going to have a seizure?
Yeah.
So I got involved. Now I'm on the board. I kind of started getting into pageants because of epilepsy because I figured it would be a good way to raise money and awareness for it. So that's kind of why I did that whole thing to begin with. And now I'm on the board for the Epilepsy Foundation, so I'll help them with events and things like that and fundraising. And it's just, what was it, like 4 or 5 months ago I started having seizures again.
Oh, no.
And they had to adjust my medication, so it's kind of like it feels like an every 2-year thing I have to deal with it.
Right. You
But
had to change medications?
yeah, they bumped mine up a bit.
Right.
So, and now it's
my stepdaughter
under
was like
control
that.
again.
Yeah, she was like that. But I wanted to get to that. I didn't want to really end with a serious note, but I figured I had to put that in there because it's so
I
important
appreciate
to you.
that.
That's so important to you.
It is.
Now they could contact the Epilepsy Foundation.
Of New England.
Is that how? Yep.
Yeah, it's a great organization. All of the funds stay locally, so.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you know what you just did.
What?
You just spent an hour with Bob.
There we go. I did it for the second time. I spent a second
That's
hour
right.
with Bob.
That's right. Yeah, that's a 2 hours. She's got 2 hours with Bob. Well, it's great to have you here.
It was great being here.
Yeah.
I'm glad I came back.
You're so cool. So nice to see you again.
Yes, you too.
After 11 years, and I got a rap. Is that a rap? Do I got a rap? I don't know any rap. I ain't got any rap. Anyway, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And folks, thank you for watching An Hour with Bob. Until next time, see you.